Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today, wherever the journey takes us. This is a reading for the 5-2 Heretic Hermit Human Design profile. If you don't know your profile, you can find it. You can find it. There is a link in the description below. And amongst the plethora of information about you, one of the things will be your profile. So for the purposes of these readings, we're going by your profile. And I'm also doing zodiac sign readings, so definitely check out your sun and rising, your moon, whatever. So let's get you an oracle card. I'm not doing the above view because there's too much going on my table. So we'll work with this. I'm happy to even be here in the first place because I wasn't even sure if the energy was gonna come around to do these readings this time around. So here we are. Transformation. I love that. I'm not even sure if I've actually ever seen this card. This is the Work Your Light Oracle deck. I'll show you in a sec. And I have used this plenty of times. I don't think I've actually even seen this card. So it says things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Look how beautiful that is. Powerful. Even like this symbol here, it reminds me of a double helix, but it's not like the same pattern, So it is interesting because it says, things are changing at a cellular level. So even just like speaking of like DNA, like maybe there's something that you are recognizing that is like deep within you type of thing. And you recognize that it's like different than, and especially with the fifth line, the heretic line, like, that is very much about like going against the grain, stepping outside of tradition. Like fifth lines definitely do have a unique way of seeing things, of going about things, of explaining things. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Six of Cups. That's a beautiful start. But yeah, finding that self-motivation, that is way too many. Because like with the 5-2, like you guys, those two cards kind of like snuck out. The Nine of Swords, the Hanged Man. But like you guys, okay, so the fifth line is the Heretic, right? So that is too many cards. There's a projection field that comes along with the fifth line, right? Like people almost kind of expect you to step in and save the day. There's kind of like this hero thing. Some people experience like a positive projection at first. Some people don't. So either way, there's definitely that projection though, either way, where, again, it's like they can recognize in you that maybe you have the ability to save them in some way, shape, or form, right? And the second line also comes with a projection. That's the Hermit line. And they kind of call that like the natural genius. It's like, you have just a natural aptitude for something, but the projection is that if you have a second line, you have a hard time seeing your own quote unquote genius in a thing. And so other people would be like, oh my gosh, you're really good at this. You're really good at that. We have the 10 of Cups trying to get away. Yeah, so, other people would recognize something in you. So that's where that projection comes from. However, with the 5-2, like, you have to call yourself out. You have to be the one to bring yourself out of hermit mode. You have to discover your own genius and how you want to uniquely universalize that into the world, into the collective. Here's a notes that I have just written down about the 5-2 profile. Self-motivated. Share what you know with others. You must discover your own genius, the inherent gifts that you want to put into the world. Others might not see your inner hero right away, as you often hide your gifts and knowledge. If the world hasn't discovered you yet, hone in on your own abilities. If you wait on others, you'll experience not self-theme of your type. It's okay to put yourself out there. And then the 6 of Wands. Speaking of putting yourself out there. And then we have the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which is interesting because it was at the bottom of the deck when the Ace of Cups and the 6 of Cups came out together. The Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. This could be even, okay, so with the transformation card to start, this could even be recognizing that you're the one that is in control of your own power. Like, you're the one that is in control of your motivation, of your passions, your desires. And again, like my notes were saying, if you are waiting for like outside validation, if you are waiting for like the right quote unquote call, like if nothing has just felt right, that is because you are expecting it to come from outside of you versus knowing that you have the power already inside of you and you're the one. It's on you. You're the one to almost, like I heard, call your heart out, because we start with the Ace of Cups and they're holding the Ace of Cups at the heart center. And this even looks like a heart to me. I'm sure that's probably what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Honing in on your own abilities, discovering your own genius. Aces are new beginnings. Cups have to do with our emotions, our heart center. How do we feel about ourselves? How do we feel about the people in our lives? How do we feel about what we're doing? Right? It's our relationship to love also. How do we give it? More importantly, how do we receive it? And like I said, aces are new. So there's something new coming in. And I do believe, again, right? I mean, even with this deep healing transformation card, it could be discovering something new about yourself, your self-worth, your knowledge, even, really connecting to and accepting your knowledge, your intelligence, your desire or passion to universalize something, to share something. In whatever capacity that is, it's paired with the Hanged Man, which is Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces right now. So it's even interesting that it's paired with a water card too, because Pisces is water, right? I mean, they are suspended above what looks like a pool of water also. So there could be something about even getting clear on your feelings about a thing. The Hanged Man is about seeing things from a different perspective. There is this element of delay or suspension, being kind of kept in a spot. Like if you feel like you've been stuck lately, you have. This is like confirmation of that. But also the point of the suspension or the point of the delay or the stuckness feeling is so that you do view something from a different perspective. It gives you time for one to even recognize what that is, and for two to work your way through what that shift in I wanted to say consciousness actually, but in perspective would be. There's this starburst right here at the crown third eye area. There's these runes down here, so you could even be receiving messages, downloads, intuition too. Like you're just, if you have been having just little whispers of something, even if it's, something's changing, I feel like probably for the most part, the majority of us are like, we know that something is going to happen, whatever that is, something good, bad, otherwise, right? It's like, it's just in the air, but specifically to your life. If you have that whisper, that little birdie that's been kind of in your ear, that's kind of what would be like down here, those downloads, those messages, it's like new information. Also, even I keep looking at their form. And to me, I'm like trying to think of how it would feel to be in this position. And I feel like there would be like a huge stretch going between, like just in the abdomen, maybe even in the back, obviously with the arm too, like pushing your heart out, like pushing, right? With the Ace of Cups here, pushing your heart chakra forward, even like leading with your heart. That could even be what the Ace of Cups is, like, allowing yourself to lead with love in whatever capacity that is, whether it's the things that you love, the people that you love, an area of, interest that you love, right? So, and we have the Six of Cups next. So this is the card of the past. This is about nostalgia, could be inner child too. We have this child and this puppy up here. And then down here, we can assume that it's the older version of them. This definitely also talks about the journey, right? Even just the emotional journey of something, whether that is from the time that you were a kid or whether it was a month ago to now or a year ago to now or 10 years ago, whatever it is, right? It's some level of time in the past, the emotional attachment that we have to it and where we are now. This could also be that something from your past is coming back up. It could be revisiting something from your past with the Ace of Cups and the Hanged Man. Like maybe there is just something that you never quite let go of. It could even be inner child healing, because that Oracle card was talking about deep healing, and there's nothing quite deeper than inner child healing. So it could definitely be confirmation of that. Like whatever this process is, it could even heal a part of your inner child. And it's paired with the Ten of Cups, which is like the minor arcana card to the Sun card. So it's like everything good. It's joy, it's bliss, everybody feeling fulfilled, it's purposeful. There's even this rainbow up here. Speaking of chakras, so it's even a balanced chakra system, even if for a moment, because I don't know if I necessarily believe that there's a way to have your chakras balanced 100%, 24/7, all of the time. I think it's just like one of those things that ebbs and flows. But this is like that moment where just like everything comes together. The planets align. Granted, in April, we have some pretty big transits going on. So maybe just the right transit is happening. And this also is a card of community and family. There's children here. This could even be multi-generational. Not to mention, too, with the Six of Cups, there was a kid on here. So it could have to do with working with children. It could have to do with your children. It could, just something around children in some capacity. Again, the community aspect here, but also tens are completion. So this is like the culmination of something. And we have 3, 4 cups, 5, because the Hanged Man is Neptune, which is water. We have the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Everything else besides the last 2 are cups. So this is definitely something that has to do with emotions, how you feel about things, even like your strategy and authority. It could be really even honing in on experimenting with that, because truly our strategy and authority, the purpose of it is to help us enter into the quote unquote correct experiences for us. And then our profile is how we interact with those experiences, the people, the energies involved, right? So it could even be following your strategy and authority and following those things that make you feel good and not engaging, interacting with the things that don't feel good. That's basically what strategy and authority comes down to, is what feels good and what doesn't, right? I mean, even if it doesn't feel good right now, we shelve it and maybe it'll come back around when the proper energy, when the right quote unquote energy is available for that thing. But it does take your own discernment and listening to your strategy and authority to do that. So it very well could be that as well. It could have something to do with music. Like there might even just be healing with music. And I say that because there's like this symbol up here which reminds me of music. I'm not even entirely sure if it is, but this kind of looks like lines for like sheet music or something. But even, like just music in general, using it as a form of healing, using it as a form of moving your body to transmute any kind of energy that might be stuck in your joints or your bones or your muscles, whatever, right? Especially considering that we have the 9 of Swords after that. I mean, look at the difference between these 2 cards. This is disappointment, it's fear, it's doubt, losing sleep at night, overanalyzing, thinking too much. I mean, all of these crows, like, just squawking above your head, right? Like just maybe feeling confused or uncertain. But I am kind of getting this feeling about like resisting. Like even, we were talking about with the Hanged Man about suspension or even feeling stuck. And sometimes that stuckness is because, and in your case, it is a little bit, because there is an opportunity to see things from a different perspective. Like there's a lesson to be gained, there's information to be found, downloads to receive, whatever the case may be. But the other side of things, like once that actually happens, and it looks like it is, and maybe the answer for that is in your past too. But it's like once we receive that information, then we can also become stuck because we're resisting moving forward, because we're scared, because it's scary putting yourself out there. It's right, like in any capacity, And so we kind of get stuck in this energy of fear and doubt and like, just doubting ourselves and making up kind of all these stories about why we shouldn't, or why we don't deserve, or whatever the case may be, right? But 9s are also individual completion. So there is an opportunity here for you to really take a leap. I mean, I know we don't have the Fool on the table, but It really is. It's like feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Like a few years, I recognized how many things I did do out of fear, but more importantly, did not do out of fear. Like every job that I've had because of fear. Every relationship I've been in out of fear for the most part. Like I was afraid that I was unlovable. I was going to be single for the rest of my life. Um, you know, being in a relationship, it would mean like it would show people, I don't know who, strangers who don't care, but it would show people that somebody loved me, and no doubt that the people that I was in relationships with, like no doubt they might have loved me for like a second, but there came a point where I don't even think they liked me, which is obviously why we're not together anymore. But so anyway, that's just an example of even just not doing something out of fear. Even starting this YouTube channel, it took me months to work through all of my subconscious fears and doubts, and even like putting my face on here. A couple years ago when I started this channel, there's no way in F that I would have thought that I would put my face on here. I had no intention of doing that. But it really was like working through all of the fears, doubts, whatever, came creeping up, gremlins, as Brene Brown calls them, shame gremlins. And I literally had to decide, like, is that story true of myself? Is that something that I believe to be true? And is it also something that is going to help me get to where I want to go? Is it going to help me grow? Is it going to help me heal? Right? And 10 out of 10, it was not. So eventually there just came a point where the only thing left to do was to actually do the thing that I was scared to do. And I did. And it was a shit show at first. It was terrible. Like my setup was crap, but I was just like, I have to do this. And it is what it is. So just one example. And also at the end of the reading, you have the 6 of Wands, which is victory, success. This is recognition. I mean, look at them. They're standing on a stage. These people, or there's at least hands back there that are clapping, that are excited. Even, their body language, feeling accomplished. This is also victory after conflict also, because this comes obviously after the 5 of Wands, which is conflict, competition, conditioning. So whatever this 9 of Swords is, it really is a lie. It's something that is trying to keep you in your comfort box, in your comfort zone, trying to keep you quote unquote safe, but it's not good for growth. You won't grow if you don't do the things that scare the absolute shit out of you, like this. Putting yourself out there. And even my little notes, it's okay to put yourself out there. Truly. And be a little delulu about it. Like, so this is a Page of Cups. I love how there's all this energy coming from their heart center. There's this heart over here. There's even this when pigs fly thing. So this is really like, it really is one of those things of like, it's going to go better than you think it's going to go. And maybe an opportunity will pop up that is like you thought was impossible. But literally, this pig has wings. So clearly, it's possible. It could even be making, the right connections, of course, and especially with the 10 of Cups on the table. That can just be community. That could be, finding your tribe, quote unquote. Finding your niche, even. We have the Knight of Pentacles behind that, which is slow growth. There's a requirement for dedication and commitment. It's recognizing that growth can sometimes be slow, But growth is growth regardless of how fast or slow it's going. This is also even too about like seeing the fruits of your labor pay off, because all of these pentacles are above ground. So they are ready to harvest. Ace of Pentacles, which is a new opportunity. Sorry, my dog's going to go out and start barking at the dog next door, and he's been limping on one of his legs. So I'm like trying to prevent him from doing that. But this is a new opportunity. Planting roots. Taking one of these pentacles, planting it into the ground. I love this for you. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.